Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to another mental wellness video from Shia Muslim Council. This video is going to be the first in a series of videos that explores the topic of anxiety in more depth. This video will talk in a little more detail about what anxiety is, how it feels, and when we should seek help for it. Future videos will talk about the different types of treatments and lifestyle changes that are available to treat anxiety. And we will also talk about how to handle a panic or anxiety attack. So first of all, what is anxiety? Anxiety is our body's biological and psychological response to different stressors and triggers in our life. It is actually a very normal and expected response to different things that may be happening in our lives. And there are even some psychological theories that state that the sooner you accept that anxiety is a normal part of life, the less anxious you will feel. Sometimes we try to fight against it. We worry about being worried, or we stress about being stressed. And if we accept that there are going to be things that trigger anxiety in our lives, it may actually take away the power of those feelings and reduce the level of anxiety that we feel. It is even normal for anxiety to increase in our lives from time to time as we respond to different triggers. For example, if you lose your job, if you're going through some health problems or relationship problems, if there is a death in the family or of a friend, all of these things are going to obviously trigger a higher anxiety response, which is perfectly normal and acceptable according to the situation. Anxiety can actually also have some benefits in the sense that it can act as a motivator. For example, if you have a big test coming up, or you have a job interview coming up, then the anxiety that you feel is going to cause you to prepare for those things. So it can be motivational, and it can prompt you to engage in certain behaviors that will help you prepare for whatever is coming up. Anxiety can also be caused by different health conditions, sometimes hormonal problems, thyroid problems, heart disease, chronic pain conditions or autoimmune disorders can also trigger feelings of anxiety in a person. So it's important to not only look at what is going on in your environment, in your life and relationships, but it's also important to address your physical and biological health when looking at anxiety. So what does anxiety actually feel like? Often physically, what our body goes through is things like shortness of breath, an increase in sweating. You may find yourself breathing more quickly and finding it a little bit more difficult to take a long, slow, and deep breath. You may also feel an increase in your heart rate and heart palpitations. Your palms might get sweaty. You might feel this overall sense of nervousness and this sense of impending stress, like something bad is going to happen or something is out of your control. And those are some of the physical symptoms of anxiety. Psychologically, you might have trouble focusing on any given task that you're doing, work, school, on conversations that people are having with you. You may have trouble remembering things. You may forget conversations or things that people have shared with you because your mind is so preoccupied with the feelings of anxiety that you have trouble recalling certain pieces of information or events that happen in your day or in your week. Now, while anxiety can be a normal response to the events that we said, for example, a death in the family, a change in career, it can also be problematic. So how do we know when it's a problem? Anxiety becomes a problem when the level of stress and anxiety that we feel is disproportionate to the trigger that is causing it. For example, if I have a test coming up tomorrow, and I have not slept or eaten all week, I haven't taken a shower, I haven't been able to go to work, I haven't studied, I'm unable to focus, that level of anxiety is a little bit disproportionate to the trigger. I should be able to use the anxiety that I feel to motivate me to study and prepare and get adequate sleep and nutrition and still be able to conduct my day-to-day relationships and responsibilities. So when you feel like your anxiety is interfering with your relationships with your friends, family members, or coworkers, If you feel that you are not able to carry out your day-to-day responsibilities, whether it's at your job, at school, your responsibilities at home. If you feel yourself not able to sleep adequately, have an appetite, or you're overeating perhaps you're neglecting things like your personal hygiene and well-being. All of these things can be triggers that your anxiety is getting a little bit out of control, and perhaps it's time to seek some help. When you find yourself worrying about how anxious you feel, and you feel that things are getting out of control, you're having a difficult time redirecting your thoughts from your anxiety to things that you need to be focusing on, these are all triggers that tell you it's time to seek help. In the next video, we will talk about your different options for treatment, and if you have any specific questions about anxiety, please feel free to leave them in the comments below or send me an email. Until then, I hope you all stay well and healthy,